Good day, my surplus addicts. Now, today is a special uniform review in that this, being Veterans Day, we will be reviewing the uniform that I wore when I was in the United States Army Reserves, aka the United States Army's OCP Operational Camouflage Pattern, ACU, Army Combat Uniform. Now, just before we get started, you're probably wondering, ACU, OCP, you know, what are you talking about? You know, because a lot of people, when they say ACU, they typically think of the American UCP pattern, or Universal Camouflage Pattern. Well, ACU is just a cut, kind of like BDU is battle dress uniform. This is ACU, Army Combat Uniform. But the camouflage pattern is OCP, Operational Camouflage Pattern, or Skorpion, I think Skorpion W2. So, obviously, this isn't the first uniform I ever had. This is probably the last one I wore before I got out, so I was a bit chubbier, obviously. So, as always, let's start with the blouse. Now, from the few ACU uniforms we've reviewed on this channel, obviously we've discussed how normally they have the two pockets up here. This one has a side zipper instead of a top opening, which I think the top opening is better. So these ones have side zippers. Velcro on the side for mounting patches and stuff. Now, you're probably wondering why I don't have my name and rank and stuff like that on here. Well, that's just for privacy. I've heard that I heard some people say the military gets really iffy about people doing stuff with their uniforms, so just for privacy for my unit and, you know, just for my own, keep my name out of stuff, I just took that stuff off. So I kept the flag patch and the Army tab here just to show you how these work. Now, so what are the main features of this uniform? Well, so we went over the pockets. It's, of course, got the two paratrooper slanted style Velcro pockets right here. Now, obviously you can tell I prefer BDU. What I didn't like about these pockets was I really couldn't fit much of anything in here. It just felt like it was very limited on space. It was more for like cards. And then in terms of the enclosure, we have a zipper as well as extra Velcro enclosures to close up the jacket. So sometimes you can literally, if you want to try and vent this thing more, you can just do the Velcro if you're small enough. And, you know, you just be walking around, you'd have more ventilation. Now, what I really don't like is the collar's not like a BDU collar where if you want extra protection from wind, you can close it up. This stays open to where it basically views your undershirt, which I'll show you what the undershirt is in a minute. It's basically just a standard coyote brown shirt, I suppose. So there's really not too much special about it. It's got the typical folds on the back. It's, of course, got the little, these little black tabs right up here. I'm not really sure what those are, but I think they're like IR tabs or something like that, or even for like when you're out using NVGs, night vision goggles. But as you can see, it's pretty typical. It's almost like the Afghan uniform we reviewed, except it doesn't have all the BDU features. Now, of course, it also does have pen pockets right here for 2 pens, whereas I think the Afghan one is either 2 or 3. But that's the blouse. Really not much to go over. Now let's move on down to the pants. Now the pants are pretty typical of ACU style. It's got a button fly enclosure. It's got your cargo pockets that are also button enclosed. I think they have 3 buttons in total. Yes, they do. I never understood that. That was just kind of something that was just there. They're pretty large. They're pretty spacious, which is actually absolutely great for carrying stuff. Although normally you just carry your wallet or keys or PC in there. It's got back pockets. They always end up with these tucked in somehow. I don't know how or why. They just do. I never even used them, to be honest with you. And the enclosures at the bottom are, of course, tie-offs. Although I really like how the Chinese do theirs, where they have like a little Velcro piece that encloses it off. But I think there's a reason we have these. I think you can actually turn the trousers into an inflatable for like when you're in a river or something. But overall, pretty typical ACU style pants. You know, this was basically the biggest pair I have. It's like a, I want to say it's like a, let's see here, it's from Proper. It's a, well, it's not giving me the size. I want to say it's like a 2XL. It's pretty huge. But overall, that's the main uniform, and it's nothing new. There's also these little pockets down here I've shown y'all before on other ACU styles. And they're on both sides, I do believe. Yes, they are. Now, here's the shirt. This is the standard shirt you'd wear under your blouse. Nothing special about it, just a typical, I believe, cotton blend shirt. Pretty standard. Now, the cap does have some interesting features to it. It doesn't have ventilation. It doesn't have anything special or really unique about it, but it does have right here in the top something you can put a map in or paperwork. So you actually do have some storage capacity with this PC. So I never really used it though, just because I don't know. I guess I didn't want my paperwork getting sweaty or nasty or whatever. So that's about all for the uniform. These are something along the lines of the standard boots we would issue, Coyote Brown obviously, and I think these are made by Belleville, so they're not standard issue, but they're a lot more comfortable than the standard issue I had. I bought these recently, and they don't crush my feet like these standard issue ones do. So overall, the only thing I can think of is a gripe I do have with this uniform, other than it being ACU style, not my thing, you know. The cuffs. Let me show y'all something about the cuffs that irks me to no end. So the cuffs, they're button and closed, which is good, but the button goes inside instead of out. Now what I hate is as these get worn out, they start popping out on you. They won't stay in. And I personally just felt that the best thing to do was just to have an outward button. Now some people say they get caught on stuff. I've never really had that problem, and even if it did happen, it was a very minute problem. It wasn't a huge issue with me, so overall, that's just a small gripe, but I mean, what do you want me to say? Well, anywho, my surplus addicts, that was the U.S. Army's OCP camouflage pattern uniform. Now, with it being Veterans Day, I decided that, you know, even though I normally don't do a lot of American uniforms, I felt like this was one that I really should show off today since I had it, and I might as well do a video on it. And I just want to say thanks to all the veterans out there who are currently serving or have served. And, you know, just like and subscribe if you like this video, if it was educational, if you like multicam or OCP and you want to see about getting yourself a suit. And if this kind of gave you an insider into what you might want, then I hope it helps you, and I hope it does you all the best. So with that, I wish you all a good day, my surplus addicts. Peace out.